Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. We've got a little 7-game slate to end the work week with here with you guys. In this one, we are taking a look at the Golden State Warriors headed to Atlanta, taking on those Hawks. Got some best bets in this one for you. Nate does have his great article up on playpicks.com with some best bets and player props in there for you as well. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Got 3 game videos. Got this bonus one here with the Hawks and Warriors for you, as well as that 4th video, the player props video. We love to bring you each and every weekday. And make sure you're checking out thelines.com, headed to that odds checker. Make sure you're getting the best odds available for you from odds makers out there as you place those bets tonight. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, the Hawks are home here. 3rd game in 4 nights. Same thing for the Warriors, though. And the Hawks at -2.5 right now, creeping up a little bit. Totals hanging pretty steady around 220.5 at the moment. 6 other games to look at, and we do break down 2 of those for you, including Jazz -3.5 at the Hornets. Totals 229. Do feel pretty good about the under there, especially if you want to tease it with the Hornets. Wizards are +4 at the Pistons. They're on a back-to-back, the Wiz. The Mavs are +3.5 at Minnesota. We break that one down for you. Plus money for Dallas right now with Karl-Anthony Towns questionable. Knicks +8 at the Heat. The Rockets -3.5 at Portland. And then the Sixers are -5 at the Clippers. The Hawks are just a completely different team at home versus on the road, especially lately. I mean, since the start of February, they're 9-2 at home, 8-3 to the over. And the last 2 unders have still topped this total at 229 and 225. So, I mean, my first inclination is over for sure. Typing up some player props on Jordan Poole. It just occurred to me that both him and Trae Young are fitting a feast here. So they both can be looked at in terms of player props. Neither one's going to be able to guard the other. And there's not really a good alternative option for either team to throw at them. And you know, it's always interesting, the splits with John Collins out for the Hawks. He's the main guy out tonight. They score 5 more points per game. Their defensive rating is 4 points worse per 100. And Trae Young specifically scores 6 more points per game, while his defensive rating rises to 124 from 117. Already a bad defender, but he really needs his power forward there to back him up in pick and roll situations. And his last 5 home games, a nice 122.5 defensive rating there. So the Hawks, again, since February 1st, with all those overs, they're scoring 121, giving up 115 at home. That is way up from on the road. They have an elite 2.75 assist to turnover ratio in that span, second best in the league. And the Warriors, uncharacteristically, way down in terms of assist to turnover ratio, giving up plenty, especially on the road. They've gone over now in 7 of their last 9 on the road, with a 115 offensive rating in general since the All-Star break. That's even worse on the road. And they're allowing 112.5 versus 110 in that span. Draymond Green not yet back to his full powers by any means. He had to sit the second leg of that back-to-back in Miami, where Jordan Poole led them to a comeback win very impressively. But this is a team that struggled to lost to Orlando the night before with Draymond out there. And obviously Atlanta, a much more capable team, especially when they're at home. So I think we both lean towards the Hawks winning. First and foremost, I'm pretty bullish on the over. I don't think you need a teaser either. I think you take that Hawks spread along with the over and expect them to approach 120 here, with the Warriors coming along to the 110s and go over pretty comfortably. But I think first and foremost, you just want to back the Hawks to win this game.
Yeah, that's where I want to stick to. Putting any money down is definitely the Hawks over the total. I get the over. You look at the Warriors playing on the road. You mentioned 7 of 9, and the only time they really went under in that time frame, they played the Nuggets without anybody, and they really just put up a stinker in that one. And they played the Magic the other night, and really telling in that Magic game too is Draymond Green played 28 minutes, and it was a close game the whole time. They were losing for a lot lot of it. So the fact that they weren't really forcing him in there means he's not ready, because he was Steve Kerr's, that's his go-to. He's going to lean on Draymond in crunch time, in clutch time, in the moments where, he knows that he needs big plays on both sides of the ball. And Draymond can't really bring it on offense right now. I mean, he's been back for 4 games. Steph's pretty much missed all of that. The first game that Dre came back, Steph gets hurt in the middle of it there when Marcus Smart fell on his ankle. Totally clean play, just saying he fell on his ankle. And Dre wasn't able to pull it through there. He's just not back yet. I mean, with a bad back, he's averaging 22 minutes a game so far since he's been back. And his everything for him, obviously 3.5 points. It's the 6 rebounds and 5 assists still not there. Obviously 33% from the field and 17% from 3. Definitely not expecting him. He looks like he's shooting with a backpack on, so you're not exactly expecting that to be better. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that scares me about that over, man, is in the last 4 without Steph, we're talking 101.5 points per game for the Dubs. That's obviously last. 32% from 3, 5th worst. They have the 6th fewest free throw attempts, but they still have the 7th defensive rating in that time frame. At the same time, they haven't been playing the Hawks at home. I mean, the Heat, not exactly world beaters on offense as of late. They only scored 104 points as the Dubs pulled that out with the Heat obviously having some inner team chaos there. Then the Magic on the road as well. But then, yeah, in their last 4, you're talking about the C's and the Spurs as well. I mean, the Spurs were playing at a faster pace. They've slowed that down. The C's, we know what they are on defense, held them to 88 points. They held the Warriors to 88. So yeah, I mean, those last 4 with that defensive rating and the way that they've been playing, it's been teams playing at a slower pace and teams without the same offense as what the Hawks have been at home, which is basically the 2nd best team in the league on offense at home this season, with that incredible, offensive rating, the way everything jumps up for all their key players as well individually, including Trae Young. So I'm not ready to take an over on this game, but I still do agree with you that Jordan Poole and Trae Young are about to go off. I think the Hawks team total, I feel not too bad about, to be honest. That's where I think you get a little bit better money, because I don't think the Dubs can come along, but I also don't think the Dubs are despite that 7th best defensive rating in their last 4, I don't think it's a telltale sign of their ability to stop the 2nd best offense in the league when they're playing at home. So yeah, Trae is going to eat. Jordan Poole is going to eat. I don't know who else is going to eat on the Timberwolves, on the Golden State Warriors tonight. So I'm not really going to take it feeling great about taking the total points for that reason. Andrew Wiggins has really come back down to what we know him to be. And there's really not much else going for them on offense at this point, with Klay still struggling to get his legs under him. So yeah, I think Jordan Poole, Trae Young, and the Hawks to win is where I'm leaning tonight.
Yeah, you nailed it with the team total there. I mean, it's the same thing we kind of talked about with the Pelicans and Bulls last night. It's like, well, we like the Pels to go over their team total. We don't trust the Bulls to hit theirs, and the spread's only 2 points. So bet the Pelicans, or in this case, bet the Hawks. Yeah. But also, yeah, I don't think the Hawks are getting held below 111 by this team. That 7th best defensive rating is a lot of smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Playing the competition that they've played, and you look at a Hawks team that, again, is averaging 121 at home over the last 2 months. That's averaging 116.5 when John Collins is out. And that has, a fantastic offensive rating, the 2nd best, as you mentioned. So, yeah, I would hit that for sure. And, not necessarily worry about the Warriors coming along. If you get the same odds, it's minus 110 right now at DraftKings for the Hawks over, and you can take the spread as well. Both should hit at the same time. I don't see the Hawks scoring less than 110 and winning this game, but I do see them winning this game. So there you have it. Trae, Jordan Poole, Hawks over. Nobody else on the Warriors that you really trust to score. Yeah,
keep it simple. And if you do want to find, any kind of player performance double, I do like Trae Young to get 10 assists tonight. You could consider his double-double and a win at plus 215. The Dubs have been giving up a decent amount of assists, especially to those opposing point guards. But I mean, even just in their last 4, as we're talking about them having this great, defensive rating and everything, they are giving up, that 16th most assists in the league over those last 4. So I still think there's opportunity for Trae to get anywhere he wants on the floor tonight and get the 30 in a win. Also is pretty nice odds there for him at plus 275. But I think the assists are going to come in droves for him as well. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. This is our bonus game video up for you today. As we mentioned, we've got 4 total videos. So make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page so you can check all those out. And until we see you next, happy betting.